This announcement from Hot Toys took me back to Revenge of the Sith, man. That final epic battle between Obi-Wan Kenobi and Anakin Skywalker. And, you know, this type of announcement is the type of announcement I love from Hot Toys, because this is the type of stuff that I really love to collect. There's not this big FOMO thing where you got to worry about a limited amount. There's not this artisan aspect of it. It's just a great, great release, and one that I cannot wait to go over these photos with you. I'm sure you've already seen these, but I wanted to give my perspective on it and also talk about like how this is keeping that Revenge of the Sith, just that iconic moment between those two characters. You could say one of the definite highlights of the whole Star Wars canon. And so we're going to go through these photos. I'm just going to give you my opinion on them, tell you what I think. And while we're doing it, I'm also going to kind of tell you, like, you know, just share some stories about Revenge of the Sith and just, you know, the hype of that and to get this character in the collection. You know, and you can kind of see this character right here. He's just, you know, again, man, this is Obi-Wan Kenobi. This is Ewan McGregor. And I was thinking about this the other day because I actually have the Obi-Wan Kenobi from the Kenobi show, and I think that's a really great figure. I actually really like that look for Ewan McGregor. It's kind of that older look, scruffier look, long hair. We obviously know that they have announced the artisan version of the Attack of the Clones Obi-Wan Kenobi. There's also a sculpted version of that, so I'm excited for that. I'm still waiting for the, you know, for Padawan Obi, man. I'm still waiting for, you know, the Episode 1, Phantom Menace, but listen, there's a lot to like about this, and we're going to look through it. You can kind of see this iconic pose right here, and you're kind of looking through, and you can kind of see everything it comes with, and we'll get to that in a minute, but let's break it down picture by picture. I mean, just the iconic Obi-Wan Kenobi pose right here, just love that. I just think that this is that type of figure that really just takes you back to that movie, and I just have such fond memories of going and seeing Revenge of the Sith in theaters, and so this is just bringing it all back, man. Especially a couple weeks ago, they announced that Anakin Skywalker. I'll flip it over there just in case you don't know this. They announced the sculpted version. Obviously, they announced the artisan version that was met with a lot of controversy. We're not going to get into that today. But just to have these two characters together, and, you know, I kind of jumped the gun a little bit because I picked up the Attack of the Clones Anakin Skywalker, which I liked because that was like Hayden Christensen's first appearance as the character. So I already have one Anakin, I already have one Obi-Wan. But these are the two versions of the characters I've always wanted to collect, and I was waiting on, like, you know, upgrades to these, and just to see these photos of these two characters like this, I mean, how can you not just get nostalgic, man? How can, you know, the saying in Moneyball, how can you not love baseball, or how can you not be romantic about baseball? How can you not be romantic about Star Wars when you get stuff like this? And this just, I mean, I'm just getting like giddy inside, man, because what an iconic movie, what an iconic just scene in a great movie to wrap up a great, you know, looking back, you know, I consider a great trilogy with the prequels. And again, we're looking at Anakin, we're supposed to be looking at Obi-Wan, but, you know, you just see this Obi-Wan, and what I really love about this Obi-Wan Kenobi is, I just, again, the face sculpt, that, you know, I don't think that this is like the greatest version of the sculpt. Like, I think there's still room for improvement for the Ewan McGregor likeness. There's just something a little off about it, to be, in my opinion. I think there's room for improvement here, but this is still, to me, like 8 out of 10. Like, I still think it's like an 8 out of 10 sculpt. The hair looks really good. We'll get to that in a minute because I think that there's like some different technology they're using. Again, I've been, you know, I haven't been collecting as much as normal. I'm curating a bit more. I'm starting to figure it out a bit more of how I'm going to pick up certain pieces. But this is one I can tell you that I am definitely picking up, because this is the Obi-Wan Kenobi figure that I've wanted in my collection. And we're kind of going through these pictures pretty fast, and I apologize, I'm just that excited. You know what you're going to get with the tailoring and the Jedi robe and the lightsabers and the boots and all that. I kind of want to skip ahead, if y'all don't mind, to a little bit of these photos up here where it kind of shows off the newer technology with the hair. And this is what I was talking about right here, the hair sculpt with implemented wool material fringe. And I don't know, man, somebody tell me in the comments if this is like a new thing. I haven't seen this before, and I think that this is awesome. I think that this hair looks fantastic, and I have a few artisan figures, I have a few in-art rooted figures, and I can tell you, man, that I am to the point where I just feel like sculpted is kind of where I want to be. But this is cool. This is like a cool little hybrid of that. And this is retailing at $315. And I think by the end of it, I can tell you, man, that I think that this is a great value for this figure. And you can kind of see this head sculpt. Again, the reason I'm not going on and on about the sculpt is because we've seen the sculpt before. This is definitely reused sculpt. but they did put a lot of work into this, and you know, it's a good sculpt. I mean, I don't think it's like just this game-changing sculpt, but I think it's really good. Like I said, 8 out of 10 for me. You know, but this is Obi-Wan Kenobi, man. This is Ewan McGregor. I mean, this is that iconic character that I feel like if you're somebody who doesn't even collect a ton of hot toys, but you love Star Wars, this is the type of figure I can see somebody picking up. This is like the type of figure I could see being somebody's like 1 to 2 figures a year that they pick up. You know, say you're a big Star Wars fan, you're just getting into collecting hot toys. This Obi-Wan Kenobi with this Anakin Skywalker, if you're a huge fan of Star Wars, huge fan of the prequel trilogy, I mean, these would be the 2 pieces I would pick up that year. Like if that would just be me, you know? So to have that, and again, man, I want to go back to these photos where it's just both of them squaring off. That's why I pulled up the Anakin as well, because they have some awesome photos here. You can see Anakin's comes with the this amazing base, just takes you back to that final scene, man. I mean, once again, dude, just a great scene, man, and great trilogy. But this base right here, this Obi-Wan Kenobi base, is unbelievable. Again, for $315, you're getting this incredible, specially designed diorama figure base, which I think looks amazing. It tells a story. This is not just some random base they threw in there to have a base. This is a base that is a character in and of itself, and that's what I love about it. And that's what I think when Hot Toys does bases like that, it elevates the figure. It elevates that to a place where now you're creating a diorama with a scene. Now you're creating that emotional scene again between those 2 characters, like when we went and saw the movie, how we felt that, and how that stayed with us 20 years later. And I just think that good on Hot Toys for creating this, because this is the kind of thing you can have in your display. And this is kind of what I'm leaning towards with my collecting going forward, is like, how can I curate it to where I'm having like representing an entire movie or representing, you know, a trilogy without feeling like I have to get every person in the line. Like, you know, you see that with like the Avengers, you know, stuff. You see that with superhero stuff, Marvel, DC, Star Wars. You know how deep the rosters go. And I'm just trying to figure out a way like to... This to me could represent the entire, not only Revenge of the Sith movie, but you could make an argument. This can represent, you know, you'd have to get maybe a couple more pieces, but this to me could represent the whole prequel trilogy. Like you could just have like the final battle from each movie. You know, you could have Luke and Vader. That represents your original trilogy. You could have this one representing the sequel trilogy. You could have Kylo and Rey, or prequel trilogy, Kylo and Rey. For the sequel. So again, I'm just saying there's creative ways to go about it without feeling like you, because Star Wars gets very overwhelming. It's an amazing thing to collect, but I'm just thinking more and more about that. And I'm thinking about like just this figure right here with that Anakin is just such an amazing way to just represent this movie and represent just like a timeless scene 20 years ago. It just really kind of takes me back and brings in all the nostalgia, man. You can kind of see this, just an amazing looking piece here. And yeah, I mean, what elevates this piece too is like as a standalone, is this like the greatest figure I've seen Hot Toys release? No, but for $315 with how expensive everything's getting, to get it with sculpted hair, but it's got that like fringe, you know, that wool fringe material or whatever. I think that's really cool. And plus, when you have a connection with it, like I do with Revenge of the Sith, like I do with the prequels, it just elevates it, man. You know what I mean? And that's what collecting's all about, man, is we could talk about like how good the sculpt looks, how good the outfit looks, how good this looks, but when it's a character like this and it's a moment like this, it's hard to ignore, and this just looks amazing. I am very hyped for this. This just gets me wanting to get back and to really start going deep into the prequels with my collecting. I have a few of the prequels. I have the Padme, I have the Attack of the Clones, Anakin. I'd have to check and see if I have any other prequel figures right now. But dude, this is amazing, man. It's bringing back all the feels, bringing back that emotional scene from Revenge of the Sith. I'm really hyped for this figure. I can tell you that I'm trying to be more strategic. I'm trying to be better with figuring out how I'm going to curate, how I'm going to pre-order. But this is definitely one that I'm pre-ordering, and I'm planning to pay off until it comes out. And really excited to have this, man. And I'll be honest with you, getting these 2 characters to represent Revenge of the Sith for me, that 20th anniversary, is something I'm very excited about. So let me know what you think about the Obi-Wan Kenobi. Let me know if you plan on picking this one up and what you think about it. Definitely want to hear from you. Definitely want to have a conversation in the comments. I'm really wanting to kind of talk with you guys and see what you feel about this. If you're somebody that's collecting a lot of Hot Toys, what do you think about this? If you're somebody who's just getting into it, is this an Obi-Wan that you're going to start your Star Wars collection with? Let me know in the comments below and we'll have a conversation. Thank y'all so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.